get started. On behalf of the Friends Foundation, I'd like to welcome everybody here this morning. It's a little bit different than last year. Those of you that were here last year, about this time it was pouring down rain and looked like a tornado, so we've got a little bit better weather this year. So we're going to go ahead and dispense with a lot of talk so that we can get this race on the way. First of all, I'd like to introduce Mr. Tom Keim, our CEO here at the hospital, and he's going to welcome everybody this morning.
Well, good morning. What a beautiful day, and as I like to start many of my staff meetings, is it not a great day to be alive, be an American, and work at St. Genevieve County Memorial Hospital? As Tom said, wow, what a difference today a year makes, I guess. And Bernie, this is year number 2. And they tell me that this year we have doubled the number of riders that are here. So on behalf of the hospital board, our physicians, our many employees, our volunteers, I just want to say thank you to you for showing up and supporting the cancer cause that Ride to Survive in our community. As you know, all the dollars that are raised stay right here and allow Dr. Liss and his team to do just wonderful things. And you know, I know an event like this doesn't just come about. There's a lot of special people that make this happen. And we have partnered with Mississippi Lime. And Mississippi Lime has just been a tremendous supporter of the hospital over the many years and really has helped us turn this event into a showcase event. And there's several members of the Mississippi Lime team that I'd like to recognize. Of course, I mentioned Bernie Bader. Where's Bernie? It was Bernie's idea a couple years ago, when he came to me and said, I'm doing this event in St. Louis, and I know that we do a lot of good things in St. Genevieve. Don't you think we should do something here that can support our hospital? So Bernie put together a team, and they really made this thing happen. And we've doubled the riders, like I said. Also, Cheryl Toronto. Is Cheryl here? Cheryl's not here today. Mary Grass. I know Mary is. I saw her. They're already out working. And Greg Okenfoos from Mississippi Lime. Also, I'd like to recognize the St. Genevieve Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, as well as the Missouri State Highway Department for their work in helping us put this together. I know many of you will be thankful that the ambulance district will be around to help with any scrapes, bumps, and bruises. The Zell Fire Department. Where's Terry Monahan? There's Terry. Terry, as you know, has done many of the SHAWs that are provided to our cancer patients, and she's got some SHAWs that she's donated to the event today. Save a Lot has donated fruit for the event. There's Cape Cycle, the Road ID, the Valley Honor Society. They're members of the Valley Honor Society here. I'd like to thank them for their contributions to the event, as well as the Weingarten JCs. And of course, Donzi Communication. But I'd also like to say a special thanks to the hospital employees. Ever since the event took place last year, over this past year, they have been doing lots of events that have helped raise money for this. And I'd like to recognize the hospital employees for all the work that they have done in helping us put this event on. And like I said, this is our second annual event. But it also is another special event for us because it marks 20 years of service in this community from Dr. Alan Liss. And over the last 20 years, Dr. Liss has touched so many lives in this community, and he certainly has made a tremendous impact on myself. And I know from the first time I met him, I knew we had a very special person that was here working side by side with us to do great things. And Dr. Liss, as you know, has helped us take a small community hospital and turn it into the smallest cancer research hospital in the United States. And that's what happens right here in St. Genevieve. So the money that we raise goes to help him further our cause. And to honor Dr. Liss a little bit further, I'm going to bring up our director of the Alan P. Liss Center for Cancer Care and Clinical Research, Sandy Shelley.
thank you. As Tom said, we want to thank you all, and I'm speaking on behalf of me and my staff, and of course the patients. I wish I could share with you the feelings they get, the feelings they express to us when they receive the packet that we are able to provide to them because of your support. The things, the educational material above and beyond, and the comforts that we're able to provide them to help through their journey. So on behalf of them especially, I want to thank you for your support and just being here today and to further this the support of this great group that we have. We have, if you do any research, unfortunately, if you have to do research to find out where to have cancer treatments, the literature will tell you to go to a place to see an oncologist that participates in research. I don't know, there's a lot of large metropolitan hospitals that don't have that, but I'm very proud to say that because of Dr. Alan Liss, St. Genevieve County Memorial Hospital has research clinical trials. We participate in over 75 clinical trials because of Dr. Liss and Dr. Shavkat's endeavors of coming here for the last 20 years for Dr. Liss. So, Dr. Liss, you want to come on up? You know, as I said, there's a lot of larger hospitals that don't have what we have, and because of Dr. Liss and because of his tenaciousness in continuing to come to St. Genevieve, we are able to offer that here. And on behalf of St. Genevieve County Memorial Hospital, on behalf of our St. Genevieve community, our staff, and our patients, I wanted to present to you this memento of our appreciation. It kind of summates the last 20 years of his service to our community, and we're very proud of you and appreciate your being here.
Thank you, Sandy, and thank you, Mr. Kine. I'm going to try to make my remarks brief for several reasons. First of all, I only learned that I was going to be asked to come to the podium 10 days ago. Sandy told me I was going to be honorary chair again this year. And frankly, I panicked when she told me that because I wasn't sure that I had enough time to prepare remarks over a 10-day period. So I did what a lot of you would have done. I reviewed my remarks from last year. And I have to tell you, I really thought my speech last year was brilliant at the time that I gave it. I really liked last year's speech when I gave it. But when I reviewed it this year, I noticed that I didn't recognize a single word. And if I forgot everything that I said last year, for sure you forgot everything I said last year. But the other thing that I noticed about it was unbelievably long and boring. And I'm not going to subject you to that again this year. But I do want to look back a little bit because it has been 20 years of oncology care in St. Genevieve as of this past October. And that really is a milestone. And as I think back about those first days, the first day when I met Jean Grifford, who was my head nurse then, those very first days, and I think Jean can verify this for you, one of the principles that I wanted to establish and about which I feel very strongly is that what we do here locally is part of a much larger picture. It's part of a national picture. It's part of a global picture. And I think it's very important to have that perspective. It's one of the reasons why when we inaugurated our center here, we called it a Center for Cancer Care and Clinical Research. We wanted to acknowledge that what we do here is important, and what we do here is part of that larger picture, okay? And I think that that's an important perspective to have, because even though it's our 20th year here, it is the 40th year since the National Cancer Act was enacted in the 1970s. And it's important to just kind of look back a little bit and see where we were and where we are now and where cancer care has been over the past 40 years. If we've been here 20 years and the National Cancer Act, the war on cancer, is 40 years old, then I think we can claim half of the successes as being our own. And what are those successes? Well, the survival rate from cancer since 1991, when I started here, has escalated fairly dramatically, and the cancer death rate has dropped by 18%. In 1970, there were 3 million cancer survivors alive in the United States. There are 12 million cancer survivors alive in the United States now. So we've come a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous distance, and all of that distance is related to progress that has been made in clinical research. There's a tendency, I think, to look back and say, well, it's been a smooth ride. It's been very steady. There have been no bumps along the way. But just like that's untrue, it's untrue that we're going to have a smooth ride today. There'll be bumps, there'll be hills, there'll be valleys. You know, many of us will have exhilaration at hitting our finish line, at our personal finish line, but it won't be completely smooth and completely bump-free, and we won't go at the same pace all the time. And that's how the way it's been in cancer research as well. But as I look back and we try to think about the themes that have been most important to us, I think that there are several. There are several nationally and globally, and they also relate to what we do here in this community as well. One of the themes is, this is a team sport. Not only is bike riding a team sport, but cancer care is a team sport. And we are very blessed in St. Genevieve to have a multidisciplinary team of cancer specialists that work with your friends and your relatives and many of you here in trying to augment the cancer care that people receive. We're really lucky to have people like Dr. Joseph Charlo and Dr. Teresa Cavens, Dr. Nirmal Antonio, his colleagues, Dr. O'Donnell, Dr. Raju. We've got a great, great, great team. And of course, Sandy Shilley and her staff are just fabulous for any of you who have had the opportunity to come into our office. Now, another theme, as I look back, that's been important over the past 20 years is the theme of learning as much about the tissue that is taken from cancer patients as we possibly can. It's what guides outlook for our patients. It also helps us target our therapies. I can't tell you through our research program how many tissue and blood specimens I've carted from St. Genevieve to St. Louis for shipment around the country to research laboratories. And a lot of those research advances have come back to benefit our patients here. And the final theme that I think is important is that there are now 12 million cancer survivors. We have a responsibility to those 12 million people to be sure that the treatments that we give people don't have any long-term impacts, and that we understand the long-term effects of our treatment as well as we possibly can. So a whole avenue of research that we've opened up over the past 7 years has involved the research associated with cancer symptom control and treatment symptom control. And I'm very proud of that work because we do have a great responsibility to those 12 million people to be sure that their quality of life is everything that can be. I have to give a great debt of thanks to Mr. Keim, to Raj Sher, the board president, to Sandy Shilley and her magnificent staff, because you don't just get 20 years of oncology care in one community by accident. It takes a tremendous amount of dedication. There are a number of communities that are larger than this one that have failed at that over a 20-year period of time, and we've been successful. So thank you for your vision, your leadership, and your constant commitment. I also need to thank all of you, because everybody in this community has had something to do with perpetuating the oncology care that we deliver here in our office. And with that background, we've got a ride to do. The next half hour to 2 hours is going to be associated with completing a 15 to 30 mile bike ride. The next 20 years is going to be associated with making further improvements in cancer treatment, cancer prevention, and the supportive care of our cancer patients. Dr. Shafkat and I are very pleased to complete this ride with you that we've begun. And with that background, I'm very grateful to be here with all of you. I can't wait to get into my gift, and have a good ride, everybody. It looks like Vern's coming to the microphone.
Wow, this is really cool to see all these people here today. It's very overwhelming. As far as the rides, the 8 Mile is exactly the same. All courses are marked good. We got extra marshals this year. I can't express, I know State Trooper Don Larson isn't here, but he helped get me a couple of signs to try to make us safer out on the road. Just go out and enjoy it. I think the 30-milers are really going to like it. And have fun and be safe. Thank you.